from outer space.
Ultimate Muscle was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. And honestly, after rewatching a lot of the episodes, because, you know, what the hell else am I supposed to do with my time? Go outside?
Got it. Bet you didn't see that one coming, huh? Fuck you.
I gotta say, the show holds up pretty well. It successfully combines two of the most expressive forms of human entertainment, one being professional wrestling,
Looking to fly. Yo! Whoa! McIntyre looking. Whoa!
and the other being anime. And it combines them into this wild acid trip of a show that's both, you know, super lighthearted and kind of funny, but also super ultra violent and kind of sad. But it does it so well that it makes it a pretty good watch from beginning to end. Now, what I didn't know about this show as a kid is that this show, it's actually a sequel to an anime and manga series from the late 70s and early 80s, I do believe, called Kinnikuman. Now, Kinnikuman is about Montaro's father, King Muscle, and his rise to power and how he showed up and became king of Muscle Planet by defeating all the evil demons or whatever. Now, we could do a whole tirade about how this show revolutionized both sports shonen, battle shonen, parody shonen, and how shows like JoJo's Bizzare Adventure and Nichijou wouldn't exist without it, and how its importance to anime and Japanese culture as a whole has left it with the status of cultural icon in Japan. But we're not going to talk about that. The reason being, one, I didn't grow up with this show. Two, while King Muscle is a character and he is kind of important, Montaro kind of beats him in like the first 10 episodes, and he kind of just holds like this side character status where he's kind of important but not too important. And number three, if white kids on Twitter with anime AVIs have taught me anything, it's if it is old, it is bad. This show is old, therefore it is bad. Pencil and paper, disgusting. Look at that. Using what you had during your era to make the best show you can make, terrible. Get it out of here. Making a weekly battle shonen with nothing more than the budget of a broken toaster and a half-drunken can of Coca-Cola? Get that shit out of my face, nigga. I don't want to see that. This is what we want. This is that good stuff, baby. That good shit, that high-quality animation, baby. All jokes aside, it's honestly just because I'm lazy. I just don't feel like doing more research and watching more stuff right now. But to give you a basic rundown of the show, virtually, Ultimate Muscle is about King Muscle's son, Montaro Muscle, who is, long story short, a piece of shit. He's a wimp. He doesn't like to fight. He's lazy. He both is full of himself and lacks confidence, which is just like a concept so stupid only he'd be able to accomplish that feat. He also might be a schizophrenic, but that's unconfirmed. But you know what? Him being a piece of garbage is kind of okay. They've been going through 28 years of peace on Muscle Planet. There's not a problem in sight until the DMP, aka the Demon Manufacturing Plant, or Destruction, Mayhem, and Pain, if you watch the version that I did as a kid, which we'll get into later, shows up and starts creating these super high-tech demon wrestlers that now Montaro must fight because it is his duty as Prince of Muscle Planet to defend his home from these demons. And that's pretty much the gist of it. He starts training. His father restarts the wrestling school that he went to as a young man. He reboots it. He forces Montaro virtually to fight because, again, it is his duty to fight as the Prince of Muscle Planet and the son of King Muscle from the original series. It is his duty to fight, and also he trains a bunch of other up-and-coming heroes to assist him defend the planet. And that's pretty much, that's the gist, without getting into like spoiler territory and stuff, because trust me, I want you to go into this show as blind as possible, and if I tell you too much, it'll ruin the magic. One of the things that I feel like sticks out the most in my mind, both now and when I was a kid, which is why I remember the show, even though I hadn't seen it in years, is the character designs. The character designs in this show are 100% original. These joints are ridiculous. I can't even begin to explain. It's like wild. Like they range from out of pocket or like slightly out of pocket to just a damn acid trip. Like, what is this? Look at these dudes. Look at these dudes. This nigga right here, his name is Gazelle Man, because you know that's obvious. This dude, I don't even remember what this nigga name is. He just looks disgusting. This nigga, he's all right. What do I even say about this guy? Look at this man. This nigga's name is Ramen Man, son of Mongol Man. This dude's got a hole for a face. This nigga's got an old man inside his body, and he uses his body as both a shoulder and a fist. What do you even want me to say? And this is a walrus with a dreaded fade and a headband. What? What? I'm like lost for words. What do you I'm legitimately lost for words. There's no words I can use to describe how ridiculous this is. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many enemies like this in this show, and I'm here for it. Man, I just want to know what this nigga was smoking when he wrote this, because I need some, because the world may not be so good right now, but whatever he was smoking was. The animation of the show is also on point, especially for the time. All the character designs, of course, we already went over that, but they're all really well drawn. All the arenas and different planets they have to go to are really well drawn. Even a lot of the side characters are pretty okay. Some of them more than others. Some of them have more importance than others, but you know, it's a shonen. Again, shonen will be shonen, regardless of whatever that shonen may be. And finally, even though the series is fairly lighthearted for the most part, it's fairly charismatic and comedic, even though it is also ultra violent. Later on, it does actually go into more darker themes like abandonment and psychological trauma, or at least it does in the actual real version of the show. What I mean by real version is the version that came out in Japan. Version that I grew up with aired on Foxbox between 2002 and 2006. Now, if you don't know what Foxbox is, honestly, I wish I didn't either. But that statement's not gonna make any sense unless I give you a little bit of backstory. So let's just run through it real quick. Pretty much when I was a kid, growing up in the late 90s and, you know, the early 2000s up until like about 2010, there were no anime streaming sites. There was no Kiss Anime, there was no GoGo Anime, there was no Crunchyroll, no Verve, no Funimation. There was not even really a YouTube until about, well, it came out in 2005, but anime, you know, episodes weren't really posted on there until like 08, 09. So you had limited ways of getting anime content. You had to go through the mainstream paths. Now, the top 3 ways that I remember watching anime as a kid is that you either found a disc at an EB Games store or like at a Blockbuster, something way in the back that you just found by accident. You got, you know, a DVD box set from your uncle or something that he had because he got it from a friend who used to do fan subbing in college. The second way was through one of the mainstream channels. This is stuff like Toonami, the Adult Swim version of Toonami, of course, Maguzi, for those of us who remember that, and also the Funimation channel, if you were rich anyway. And the final way would be to watch anime that came on Foxbox. Now, Foxbox is the precursor to 4Kids TV. Foxbox and 4Kids TV are infamous for 3 very specific things. One was hilariously bad dubbing mixed with insane amounts of censorship, which led to scenes like this.
I'm as much of a waiter as you are a juice connoisseur. I'm the assistant chef, and you, my lady, are beautiful.
And this.
What do I always tell you? If at first you don't succeed, blast them with your blue eyes again!
And this.
You look kind of down, Ash. Huh? Have a donut. That always cheers me up. Pika pika!
These donuts are great! Jelly-filled are my favorite! Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut.
Because, you know, there's no way a small child can understand the super complicated concept of a rice ball. There's no way. It can't be done. It can't be done. Number 2 was having a hilariously bad Mexican or Hispanic stereotype on every show they dubbed. And when I mean every show they dubbed, I mean every...
Hey, stop spinning me round like a pinwheel!
Kirby is putting his own spin on this situation.
single...
I won't forget it. I don't see your kind of courage every day. You have earned my respect, which is why I'll use this black sword to finish you off.
show.
I thought I'd find you up here, Christopher.
Oh, hi there, Ella.
Keeping this room dust-free is a losing battle. Not that I'm complaining, but it's like trying to vacuum a dirt road.
And number 3 was having an insanely catchy intro that's so damn catchy, it literally becomes iconic. The original Pokemon theme, that was them. The Yu-Gi-Oh theme, the Shaman King theme, the One Piece rap, the Sonic X theme, the Ultimate Muscle theme, just all that garbage, all those garbage intros you remember as a child that are so beaten into your brain that even when you try to forget them, you realize it's impossible. It's just a part of your genetic code now. There's no way that shit's leaving. That was them. Or most likely them. Stuff that we see as iconic now because nostalgia, I guess. So, to pretty much explain and wrap up my thoughts on this show is honestly like Baki for children, if you've seen the grappler Baki. Or a better comparison would be, it's Dragon Ball Z meets WWE. It could be completely possible that I only see this show as highly as I do due to the fact that it just had such a presence in my childhood. But honestly, I do feel like this show does hold up, and I do feel like this is a show we could all use in times like this, because oh boy, has this year has been rough. to say the least, especially these last 3 weeks. God damn. But finally, all I gotta say is, if you like this video, like it. If you want to hear more content like this, subscribe. Please donate to Gianna Floyd's GoFundMe. Please donate to the Minnesota Freedom Project. Please donate to 8 Can't Wait. And that's it. The links to those donations will be in the description down below. Hopefully, when the next video drops, the one will be in a much better spot than it was when this one did, because oh boy, we could sure use a break this year. Bye.